When I got engaged, I invited my family to a small celebration. My mother arrived, looked around, and said, "Is this it? Looks cheap." My brother whispered loudly, "He's always been the dollar store version." My fiancée grabbed my hand. "We don't need their approval," she said. But that night, I sat alone, staring at the cake I paid for. 3 days later, my mom called and said, "Maybe if you did something worth celebrating, we'd show up for real." A year later, I got married without them, and not one person even asked why. I'll be honest, my family never really liked me much. I don't say that for sympathy. It's just the truth. I grew up with a mom who thought everything I did was a joke, a brother who never missed a chance to tear me down, and a dad who gave up trying to care sometime around the year 2000. But I stayed hopeful, even when they ignored my birthday. Even when they laughed when I said I wanted to study graphic design. Even when they told me no one would ever want to marry a guy like me. So when I got engaged, I did something dumb. I invited them to celebrate. Melanie and I put together a little get-together at a local Italian restaurant in Oak Hill. It was small, intimate. We rented out the back patio, got string lights, ordered food ahead of time, even had a little slideshow playing on a portable screen with photos of us over the past 3 years. She looked beautiful that night. My heart felt full just being next to her. Then my family arrived. My mom walked in like she was lost, looked around, and the first words out of her mouth were, "Is this it? Looks cheap." I froze. Not even a hello. Not a congrats. Just that. Like the whole thing was beneath her. She didn't hug me. Didn't look at the decorations. She just kept scanning the room like she was trying to find someone important. My brother Chad followed behind her. Hoodie, basketball shorts, some kind of food stain on his chest. He saw the slideshow and snorted. He leaned over to my mom and said loud enough for half the room to hear, "He's always been the dollar store version." That one landed. I heard someone near the bar go quiet. I pretended not to notice. Melanie didn't. She grabbed my hand and whispered, "We don't need their approval." I nodded, but my throat was tight. I didn't even want to breathe. They stayed long enough to eat. Didn't say much. My mom picked at the chicken parm and whispered something to Chad about it being bland. Then they got up and left. No goodbye. No hug. Just vanished. Afterward, Melanie stayed positive. "They don't matter," she kept saying. "We have each other." She meant it. She always does. But that night, when she was in the shower, I sat on the couch staring at the cake we'd brought home. It had our names on it. "Congratulations, Jake and Melanie." I didn't touch it. I just looked at it like it was some cruel joke. 3 days later, my mom called. She said, "Maybe if you did something worth celebrating, we'd show up for real." Then she hung up. No explanation. No follow-up. That was when I finally let go. Over the next few weeks, I told Melanie I didn't want them at the wedding. I expected her to push back, to say I'd regret it. But she didn't. She looked me in the eyes and said, "Then we'll do it our way. No more trying for people who don't care." So we planned our wedding. And we didn't invite them. Not one of them. And not a single person asked why. Her parents were incredible. Her dad offered us his backyard in Asheville. He built a wooden arch for us. Her mom helped plan the catering. Her sister made Melanie's dress by hand. It was real. It was full of love. And when I stood under that arch and watched Melanie walk toward me with tears in her eyes, I felt more seen than I ever had in my life. We said our vows. We kissed under string lights. We danced barefoot on the lawn while her dad played an old guitar. It was everything the engagement night should have been and more. A month later, we got the wedding photos. They were perfect. And that night, I picked one photo, just one, and dropped it in the family group chat. Me and Melanie standing in front of the arch, kissing as the sun set behind us. No caption. No explanation. My mom saw it. She didn't reply. Chad left the group chat. My dad, who never says anything, heart reacted it. I thought that was it. That they'd be mad. That someone would call. That maybe they'd want to know what happened. But nobody ever did. Not one person. And that's when I decided to take things further. Because if they thought that was the end, they were dead wrong. After the wedding, Melanie and I started our life together without looking back. But deep down, something still burned in me. It wasn't just hurt, it was anger. For years, I let them walk all over me. I let them treat me like I didn't matter. Now, I had proof that I did matter. I had a partner who loved me, a career that was finally going somewhere, and a new family that actually cared. But they never asked. Not once. Not a call. Not a message. Not even a fake apology. A few months went by. Then something happened that flipped everything on its head. My brother Chad lost his job. I found out through a mutual friend from high school who still lived in town. Apparently, he got fired for getting into it with his manager. Screaming match. Police were called. It made Facebook for a day. A week later, I got a text from an unknown number. Hey man, this is Chad. Can we talk? I stared at it for a while. Then another one came. I'm in a tight spot. Just need a favor. Not money. Just some help. I showed Melanie. She said, do what feels right. Just don't let them pull you back in. So I texted him back. Kept it cold. What kind of help? He told me he needed a job lead. That he was trying to get back on track. And that he knew I had connections now. That was rich, considering he once told me I'd never make it in graphic design and should just get a real job. I told him I'd ask around. I didn't, but I had an idea. I reached out to a buddy who ran a digital print shop in Charleston. I told him to call Chad in for an interview. Not to hire him, just to meet with him, hear him out, and then give him a taste of what it feels like to be dismissed. He agreed. The interview lasted 10 minutes. My friend told Chad he didn't have the right energy for the team. When Chad pressed, he said he just didn't see a future for him at the company. The same words my mom used on me after I graduated college. Chad didn't take it well. I got another text that night. Did you set that up? I replied, you asked for help. I gave you a chance. Then silence. A week later, Melanie and I were at a small art fair downtown. I was showcasing some design prints I'd done, stuff I never used to have the confidence to share. It felt good. Real good. Until I looked up and saw my mom. She was standing across the street. Just watching. She didn't come over. She didn't say a word. She just stared for maybe 30 seconds, then walked away. I didn't tell Melanie right away. I just sat with it. Let it rot a little inside me. A few days after that, my dad called me for the first time in years. Your mom's not doing great, he said. She won't admit it, but I think she misses you. I almost laughed. She had her chance. He paused. I know. But people get old. They realize things too late. Yeah, I said. Some things don't deserve forgiveness. And then I hung up. Melanie was in the next room. She came in and sat beside me. You okay? She asked. I nodded. I think I'm just getting started. Because it wasn't enough anymore to just walk away. They needed to feel it. They needed to feel everything they made me feel. A few weeks after that call from my dad, I got an email from a local community board I subscribed to. It was about a new mentorship program for young adults interested in design, photography, and digital media. Volunteers were needed. They were offering grants to participants from underprivileged backgrounds. It was right up my alley. I signed up. First session, I'm paired with a kid named Tyler, 17, sharp, quiet, real eye for layouts. Turns out he lives with his aunt. Parents not around. I saw a lot of myself in him. Over time, I started mentoring more kids. Built a little circle of regulars. I was giving them what no one ever gave me, belief. The program took off. Local media picked it up. My name got mentioned in a write-up. A few news outlets shared my website. I got emails, job requests, speaking invites. Then something strange happened. I got a message on my business contact form. This is Janet Reynolds from Oak Hills Senior Center. We're planning a community family showcase and wanted to feature someone from the area who's made it. We'd love to highlight your work and maybe have you speak. That last name hit me like a hammer. Reynolds. My mother's maiden name. I did some digging. Janet Reynolds was my mother's older sister. My aunt. Someone I hadn't seen in maybe 15 years. I said yes. Melanie wasn't sure at first. You really want to step back into that? I do, I said. But not for them. For me. I showed up to the senior center 2 weeks later. It was packed. People from the neighborhood, older folks, young families. My prints were on display in the lobby. My name, Jake Elson, was printed on a banner. I gave a short talk. Told my story. The real one. I didn't name names. But I didn't sugarcoat either. I grew up hearing I'd never matter. That nothing I did would be enough. I let that voice live in my head for way too long. Then I met someone who showed me that voice was wrong. After the talk, people clapped. Some teared up. And then I saw her. My aunt. She walked up to me, smiling. Said she was proud. Said she wished she'd reached out sooner. Then she said something that stopped me cold. Your mom wanted to come. She stood outside. She watched through the window. But she couldn't come in. I felt a mix of things. Satisfaction, confusion, anger, maybe even pity. That night, Melanie and I sat on the back porch with a bottle of wine. You gonna talk to her? She asked. I don't know, I said. Part of me wants to. Part of me wants her to stay exactly where she is. Outside, looking in. Melanie looked me in the eye. So figure out what's justice. Not just what's pain. That stuck with me. And then something happened that made the choice even harder. Chad got arrested. DUI. Second offense. This time with damage. Hit a parked car outside a grocery store. Nobody hurt, but it made the paper. The mugshot was rough. And what really got me? He listed me as his emergency contact. I didn't answer the first call. Or the second. But the third came from the county jail. I picked up. It was him. Jake. I messed up. I don't have anyone else. The line went quiet. He waited. Then, please. Just, can you come? I didn't answer. I just breathed. Because now I held the power. And I was about to decide what to do with it. I didn't go. That night, I stood outside the jail in my truck. I parked across the street and just watched the building. Lights flickering above the door. A couple of tired cops coming in and out. I sat there for almost an hour, engine running, just staring. Then I drove home. I told Melanie everything. She didn't say much. Just put her hand on my shoulder and stayed quiet while I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. The next morning, I checked the local booking reports. He got bailed out. By my mom. A week later, I got an email. From her. It said, I'm sorry for what I said. Sorry for the way we treated you. I was angry. I was scared you'd forget us. You didn't deserve that. I want to fix things. If you let me. No call. No visit. Just that. Melanie read it over my shoulder. What are you thinking? She asked. I don't know, I said. But I did. I was thinking about every time she said I was wasting my life. Every birthday she skipped. Every laugh Chad got at my expense while she just stood there. Every second of that engagement night I spent trying not to cry in front of strangers. And then I thought about our wedding. About Melanie walking barefoot down that aisle. About her dad calling me his son. About the kids I mentored whose eyes lit up when I told them their ideas mattered. I hit reply. You taught me what it feels like to be unwanted. That's the only thing you ever taught me well. You don't get to fix that with one email. Then I blocked her. Permanently. I wasn't angry anymore. I was clean. And then I did one more thing. I posted the wedding photo again. The same one. Me and Melanie kissing under the lights. This time with a caption. Got married a year ago. No family from my side showed up. Not because they weren't invited, but because I stopped inviting pain. I didn't name them. Didn't throw dirt. Just told the truth. It blew up. People shared it. Commented. Messaged. I got emails from others with the same story. Same scars. Same lies they were fed by people who should have loved them. And I realized something. This wasn't revenge. Not really. Revenge would have been hurting them the way they hurt me. But I didn't want to be like them. What I wanted was to be free. So I forgave them. Not out loud. Not to their faces. But in my heart, I let them go. Forever. They made their choices. Now I make mine. And I choose peace. With the woman who stood beside me when my own blood walked away. And with the life I built, brick by brick, out of every stone they threw.